start doing
Because
this?
because Kanaz, we should know that anything we try to do with the League of Chaos, we just inherently get bullied.
Fair.
Oh, fuck it.
Hmm.
Ah, Millie, you would never bully me. Justin would. You should have heard. Actually, that reminds me, I have to do a thing. You should have heard what they were all saying about me last week, because I was not here for last week's stream, and they all kept talking shit.
Were
Can
we?
you believe that, Millie?
Were we?
Uh, Yes, I was watching you the whole fucking
There,
time.
there is no proof whatsoever.
I have recording of the whole thing.
Yeah, there is no proof whatsoever.
Right. Oh, that's the rule. The rule of bully chains.
Yeah, that's just normal.
Hmm. You guys follow it to the T.
Of course.
Well, let's put it this way. They also bullied me with money, considering I now have to pay other people because I wasn't fucking there. See,
Well,
I don't do that with the others. If they're
huh.
not there, I don't say they have to pay other people.
I mean, it was a build battle. There had to be a prize.
The prize could have been respect.
That is no prize.
What about it? Respect from your peers?
That is no prize.
Oh, come off it. Alrighty.
That's not it.
Come on. Come on with it. There we go.
Why is this not working? God damn it.
There. Okay. I have paid Pale Band-Aid $50.
Should have sent it to me instead.
You didn't win!
Shh. They don't have to know that.
They can go back and watch your VOD, fuckwit. It's not like you can access your Twitch anyways to donate it.
Shut up.
Fuck off, Justin. Yes, so Kanaz, in his glorious wisdom last week, why am I, okay, quit it with the British accent, Chase. Jesus. Kanaz, in his glorious wisdom last week, said, "Oh, Chase isn't here. He is going to pay the winner of this build battle $50. PB1. So I just paid her $50. And like legitimately, she can confirm it.
Baby.
Decided not to show up today.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. She decided not to show up because Justin wasn't here. I think that's what it was. I'm not going to do that because it's kind of hard to do a podcast with a fucking IRL voice band, dumbass.
Oh, hello there. It seems like I am now live on YouTube.
Did it go through?
Apparently.
Redeem you then? I'm not gonna redeem you. I don't know how to refund him. He
Okay.
shouldn't have been stupid.
Somebody go into my YouTube, please. Into my YouTube channel.
I'm
Tell me if I'm streaming.
trying to pull it up. Yeah, you are. You are.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
I don't know how to give you your points back, fool. I am not off for that. Really? Actually, hold on. I think I can do this from the Twitch dashboard. I've never like looked that far into it. because I haven't been an affiliate that long. It's 10,000. Thank you very much. It comes up. Yeah, no, it. I was the one who said it, dude. You can't fool me.
Justin, I think you fooled him. Justin, I think you fooled him.
Oh, there we go. All requests. Wait. All. Where is? There we go. Reject. There. I refunded your points back. All requests. Where is? There we go. Don't redeem it again. I'm not disabling my voice. There. I refunded.
Okay, that works.
I should disable text to speech again.
Why?
Because Justin abuses it.
I don't think it's an abuse.
Yes, it is. So, Canaz. It's been
Yes,
a while.
it has.
So, what has been going on in the world of Canaz? Like, what's been on any movies lately? Doing any
Nope.
film things?
Nope.
That's a shame.
It is. It really is.
I would like to talk about because I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard the new live action How to Train Your Dragon is what people are saying is like almost a masterclass of how to do live action movies. Live action recreations.
I have a hot take on this. I haven't watched the movie. I probably won't watch it anytime soon. I think it's a very unnecessary remake. And that movie should not exist.
Oh, care to defend your stance there? I mean, that is pretty spicy. You're about to anger everybody in chat right now.
I will do that. Simply and unquestionably, I'm gonna say the original movie, has been out for less than 15 years. It's no time for a remake. Let the movie age, goddammit.
Isn't what? Trying to think, because Disney's doing their live action, their classics
1.
right now.
So Disney's suffering from the same fucking problem because Lilo and Stitch should not have been made to a remake. Granted, the remake is a good one, but it still shouldn't have happened.
Whoa. I would like to say that the amount of people that I have heard rip that new movie apart, is ridiculous.
Okay. What is the argument that they're doing for it?
The argument that they're doing for it is that because they didn't remain faithful. Like, I understand if you're doing a live action thing, you want to change maybe a tiny little bit. They cut characters completely out of it. Yes. They changed the meaning of the entire character dynamic between Lilo and her older sister.
Okay, so they what I'm saying in regards to this specific issue is, yes, they did make some changes to the movie. There are changes I actually agree with. Some of them, not all of them. I hated that they cut one of the main villains. I completely hated that. However, the change in dynamic between Lilo and her sister that was a really good change because it was very shallow in the original movie. Like, yeah, oh yeah, she's taking care of Lilo because of the parents are gone and stuff. Okay, yeah, that whole thing remains the same. But now, Nanny, Lilo's sister, is actually she has dreams. She wants to do shit in her own life. She actually wants to do stuff that actually the death of the parents and her having to take care of Lilo actually destroy those dreams. Well, not destroy, but put a big hinder in it. So yeah, that's the same. But if you're gonna do a remake and you're gonna change some things, that's fine. I actually think that's a good thing to do. But if you're gonna do a shot by shot remake, like come on. And it's too soon for it. Like I do agree that Lilo and Stitch, which I did like, I do think it was too soon for a remake. Don't even start get me started on the fact that they're doing the Moana live action as well. Like that movie came out like what, 6 years ago?
More than that, I want to say.
Like the second Moana movie was just in theaters, like a year ago.
Yeah.
Like, come
When did
on.
Moana come out?
That's a good question. Let me figure it out.
2016. So, fuck, it's almost 10
It's
years.
almost 10 years. Wow, that's fast. Well,
Well,
still, it
wait,
feels
wait,
too
hold on then.
soon. Wait, hold. When was
Yeah,
the
15
original?
years for How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, 15 years.
It's still too soon. I can get the Snow White remake, for example. I can get that. Snow White was a movie that came out in 1930 something or 1940
Hmm.
something. Like, come on, I get that. But that's the fact that they're doing like they did the How to Train Your Dragon movie. The fact that they did the Lilo and Stitch. That's just milking money, and that's just like I feel like there's
What's
not even.
Hollywood now, though?
I know. But even like if you're trying to milk nostalgia out of it, there's not even a lot of time to do nostalgia there.
Well, kind of. So here's the thing which you got to think about is all right. So that movie came out in 2010. We'll take me as an example.
Hmm.
2010, I would have been 7. I would have
Yes.
been kind of in that target demographic for that original movie when it initially came out in theaters.
Hmm.
So, as like kind of like as a 22-year-old, I could see the appeal of, hey, if I really enjoyed this movie when it came out in theaters, I'd never watched it in theaters, so I can't really say that. I mean, 2010, well, I live in the middle of bumfuck nowheres,
Hmm.
but for those kids that like in that kind of like almost like around like almost 10 years old, kind of like tween shit like that,
Hmm.
having this come out now, yeah, you got a lot of these kind of like college kids in a sense that are gonna be like, hey, this movie I really enjoyed when I was a kid came out in live action. Let's go check it out.
I
So
mean,
I think they're
yeah.
targeting college kids.
Probably it's kind of the same thing, but if you're like if you're trying to target those kind of kids, instead of doing a live action, do a sequel. That's it. That's what
They
they did
did
with.
do a sequel. They did
No, no,
several.
no, 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 no. I know they did, but make another one. That's the thing. Like,
Well, here's why they didn't want to make another one though. Is because the director said that he's told their story already.
then just
That
leave it
the
be.
creator of it.
Then just leave it be. Do a new fucking franchise. Like it's the
Then you
same.
might not have the same success though. That's the Hollywood
I
greed
mean,
coming out is
yeah, that's the problem with it. But like, come on, there are plenty of stories to be told yet.
oh yeah, which is they also
Oh,
plan on doing a live action Shrek.
oh God,
What?
that one I don't want to watch.
No.
That one sounds
That's
like
one of those ones
terrible.
that see, here's the thing. That's one of those ones that when it came out, it was really like into the pop culture of that year.
Hmm.
Whereas if they were to do a new one,
It's not gonna work as well.
it's not gonna work as well because they're gonna try and it's either gonna go one of two ways. They're gonna like do kind of what How to Train Your Dragon did and like recreate it almost shot for shot, but live action in a sense. Or they're going to try to modernize it with modern pop culture, and that's just gonna put a lot of people off.
Yeah, pretty much. That's that. Yeah, that's one movie I don't wanna see made into live action. Like that's a timeless classic, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have
And
to do remakes of those things.
no, you don't. And kind of like going off of what you said about like it, explore more about that like world in a sense. Um, what the fuck are you doing? Because I knew you were playing Minecraft. Oh, you're just blowing up the realm.
I'm blowing up the realm.
I'm gonna find a massive crater. Am I not?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
It's even slowing down everything. So
Of course it is. Blowing shit up. So, kind of like what I've been doing, or kind of focusing on with the stuff I'm writing for Essentria, is the sense of I know for a fact that at any given point,
mm,
there is going to come to a time where the characters that I've written, their story is done. But if
mhm,
I have enough world building done,
mhm,
then I could like carry on with different characters and stuff like that.
yeah,
And also, not even sticking in the same timeline.
yeah. Of course not.
So here's a pitch for possibly another kind of like How to Train Your Dragon movie. So I think the latest one, like the latest animated one, kind of touched base on this towards the end, where it's just like they jump forward like a few years in time when they go back to like visit Toothless at the very end or whatever. So what I would want to see is, all right, let's jump forward 100 years. What does civilization look like in the modern era of the How to Train Your Dragon universe?
Yeah,
That I think would be interesting to see.
yeah. Something like that is fun. Like you can set stuff in the same universe and it would be fine. It's just I think that they're overdoing it with the remakes and stuff. Like one example of it would be I think it was well done, especially at the beginning. Oh God, with the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic
Hmm.
Universe. I thought it was very cohesive at the beginning. It was pretty good. I think it was working fine at the very start. Uh, then they overdid it. They overstepped, and they did a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have ever done.
Such as,
Starting to mess with the multiverse and stuff. I think it's way too convoluted, and they tried to do some stuff that didn't pan out, and they just abandoned everything.
like, it's kind of like go on that. I watched the Eternals in theaters.
Yes.
It drives me insane still to this day
Mhm.
that nobody in the MCU has made it any kind of like big deal
Mhm.
about giant hands just sticking out of the ocean now. I think in one of the more recent ones, it was like briefly glossed over in a news thing in the
Yeah.
background of a scene. But other than that, that's just not something you gloss over. Yes, I understand. It's just like, though. Oh, I haven't seen the latest Captain America. Okay.
Mm. Well,
Yeah, I
yeah.
hadn't seen the latest Captain America.
Well, that's the thing. But there were so many movies in between the new Captain America and the Eternals that happens in the time between those movies, and nobody acknowledges that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, for example, you know I'm a huge fucking Star Wars nerd.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, I like a lot of Star Wars stuff, and I know not everything is gonna be super cohesive with each other. Like I
Right.
take for example Andor, which just wrapped. There are stuff that happened in Andor that don't necessarily align with the original way things were written, but that's fine. That's fine because
Yeah.
at least they're trying to be consistent about it.
Right.
Like they there was a moment in Andor, especially in season 2, and not to try to spoil anybody, but Mon
Yes.
Mothma goes ahead and gives a speech about
Hmm.
some event that happened. That same speech happened on Star Wars Rebels on the TV
Rebels.
series.
Yep.
That same speech, that same moment happens, but it differs vastly from one version to the other. And the Andor
Some
one is way superior, honestly.
some speculation I heard about that was that it was actually two different speeches
That
talking about the same thing.
yeah, that's retconning a little bit because they're like they tried to fix that issue because the thing is Tony Gilroy did not like the original speech. So they went
Hmm.
like, we're gonna redo it so that it makes a little bit more sense
Yeah.
with what we're creating, and that's fine. That works. I don't have any issues with that because at the end they are trying to retcon it to make it seem like they're two different speeches.
Hmm.
But in original, like the original thing is, it's the same speech because it's at the Senate, and there's only one moment where she can do that at the Senate.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, okay, of course things are not gonna line up perfectly, but
Hmm.
that's the beauty of it. But they at least are trying to acknowledge that it happens, and that's where I think the MCU is messing up a bit. Uh,
Yeah.
Especially in this latest phase, like I think they're messing up because of their continuity. They're having issues with their continuity.
Thunderbolts was decent. Have you seen the new Thunderbolts?
I have not. I actually haven't watched any of the new MCU movies since
I
last
didn't
year.
watch I didn't watch Captain America. I did watch Thunderbolts because I had like a day off
Hmm.
and I was just like, because normally all the theaters around me don't show it until like 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But I was just curious. I looked it up,
Hmm.
and like the closest theater to me was showing it on like a Tuesday at fucking 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Hmm.
Just like, screw it. I'm gonna go watch Thunderbolts.
Yeah, fair.
Um, and yeah, I did. I just went and watched Thunderbolts, and it was like really good. There was a few bits in it that I was just like, okay.
Mm.
I'm interested to see what they do with the Fantastic Four.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Justin just said in my chat, Thunderbolts was the first Marvel movie in a very long time to get me mildly excited about the next Marvel movie.
Yeah, that's something I've heard a lot of people say. Like it finally got people excited to see something new. And I get that. Like honestly, I heard a lot of things. I haven't watched it because I haven't had the chance to watch it. But I do want to watch it. I was like, ever since I saw the promos, I was like, dude, I really want to watch this shit.
It's dark. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what like a lot of modern movies, they're like very like bright and poppy and like lighthearted and stuff like that. But if you go back to some of the original stuff, like the original Iron Man was
Oh,
dark.
it's dark. Iron Man 2? No, not
Yeah,
even. Iron Man 3, dealing with the whole PTSD of Tony Stark, that was dark as shit.
exactly. Like a lot of like old Marvel, like good Marvels, I'll say,
Yeah,
that was dark.
really, really dark.
Where I mean, yeah, yes, some of the newer stuff isn't quite as dark.
Hmm.
I mean, the last Spider-Man, No Way Home,
Oh yeah, that
or
wasn't. That's.
yeah, No Way Home, yeah, that was
I mean, it had its
it,
moments. It got dark at the very end.
it did. and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, same. Honestly, same. It was pretty good.
It's like, yeah, I'm okay if a movie goes like kind of dark. That's okay.
Yeah.
Handle. Um, but yeah, kind of like what you're saying is that the biggest thing is when you have such a large IP like the MCU, like Marvel, and even Star Wars, kind of like you're saying that you have so many different hands in the same pot and
Mhm.
so many different creative ideas
Mhm.
that a lot of the time they just don't communicate with one another.
Yeah.
And that is what I feel is like the big issue with a lot. I mean, like when the MCU first started like coming out, wasn't it? Because I know John Favreau did a lot. He did a lot of the original Iron Man,
Yeah.
but wasn't he doing a lot of just Marvel in general?
He was involved in a lot of things, not necessarily doing it himself. Like he didn't make the Thor movies, but he was
Yeah.
very involved at the very beginning. Then he kind of handed it off because he was no longer as involved because he got stuff like other things like Mandalorian or stuff like that.
Mhm.
And he also felt like his run was over. Like he had done anything and everything he wanted to do with it. And let's face it, like the whole first 5 phases of the well, not the first 4 or 5 phases, but all the way up to Infinity War, the fucking MCU is pretty cohesive. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good lesson on planning and storytelling that most studios could even benefit from. Like a great example of it, and people are gonna hate me for this, but the fucking DC universe.
Really?
The DCEU could have learned a lot from Marvel at that point in time.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd be like, yeah, it's really cohesive. I was be like,
Oh no,
really?
no, oh no, oh no, 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 no,
You're like
no.
the exact opposite.
Yeah, no, no, no. The DCU was a fucking mess. Like,
Yeah, because you
here's,
had fucking Snyder being like, I want to release my own cut of this movie.
I mean, I get it. The story behind that is very interesting as well, and I get that.
Did
And
they release a whole doc behind that too?
well,
Like
the
of
whole
why he
reason,
wanted to do that.
yeah, the whole reason that happened and the Snyder cut was a thing is simply and straightforward because Snyder had to go out because somebody in his family passed away.
Oh.
I think it was her, like his daughter or something like that passed away.
Yeah, someone like close to him, yeah.
So the problem with that was they gave it to the other director, and the other director like completely screwed up the Justice League thing. But here's the thing, and here's the thing people don't like to hear, and here's a take that has gotten me into an actual argument with people. This the Snyder cut is fucking bullshit.
Okay.
So if the original cut of Justice League was terrible, the Snyder cut, like the way I saw it is when I finished watching the Snyder cut, I said I've just wasted 4 hours of my time.
Wow.
That's how
I
bad I
'cause
think it was.
let's put it this way. I haven't watched any of those. So I don't feel like I'm in a position to comment on it, considering the fact that I never watched any of those films. So I
Fair,
can't be like, oh well, uh, uh, this reason, this reason, and this reason.
fair. Well, the thing about it is, I think that they should have left the movie alone. I originally rated the original Justice League. Uh, I said it was. I was giving it a 3 out of 10.
Okay.
The Snyder Cut went up to a 4,
All right.
so it is better than the original, but it's still
But
fucking bullshit.
but
And
yeah, like
and
pointless.
people get mad about that because they think like, oh, it's great. It's the same like going back to Star Wars for a moment, people are claiming and clamoring Andor because oh my god, it's the best Star Wars thing, like the best thing Star Wars has ever done and shit. Like, dude, it's not the best Star Wars thing it has ever done. It's not as perfect as people claim it to be. It has a lot of issues, but it's still a really great product. I will admit that it's a really solid product, but it's not the best thing that Star Wars has ever done. Not by a mile.
In your opinion, what do you consider is the best thing Star Wars has done?
The best piece of Star Wars media ever is Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
That's the best piece of Star Wars media ever. A very close second to me, and this is a personal opinion, and a lot of people do not agree with me. The Last Jedi is a pretty fucking solid movie.
Oh, the yeah.
The Last
Justin's
Jedi.
Clone Wars series is the best.
Clone Wars series is a fucking amazing. I was actually talking about this with some cousins last night. Uh, because they were saying, "Oh, Andor's great. Andor's the best thing ever." And I was like, "No, it wasn't." And the thing about this is people are constantly getting annoyed all of a sudden. And I've seen the argument of, dude, why is Star Wars woke? And this happened a lot when The Acolyte released.
That yeah, I knew that the Acolyte got ripped to shreds because of it.
Yeah, honest to God, The Acolyte does not deserve the hate it got.
I haven't watched any of the new Star Wars shit, so that's the thing is like I haven't really caught up. I've been catching up with any of the new Star Wars stuff. I just haven't had the time to like sit down and watch a
Understandable.
full show.
Yeah, understandable. And honest to God, The Acolyte, what the problem that The Acolyte has, I believe, is the fact that Disney did not believe in it from the start. So it's probably the
Okay.
show with the lowest budget in all of Star Wars,
Oh,
and it suffers from that. But
yeah, I
it's
could see
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is really good. And going back to the other point and to answer to Justin what he's saying about Clone Wars, people are, like there are two camps on Star Wars at the moment. People hating on Star Wars for being too political or too woke.
It's Star Wars.
Dude, Star Wars has always been woke. Like fuck's sake, there was a leading lady in the 70s that did not
Yeah.
be to be rescued. That she was not a damsel in distress.
She rescued the guys.
She
Fuck's
rescued the
sake.
guys. So Star Wars has always been woke. Star Wars has always been political. Some of the best episodes of Clone Wars are episodes where it's all about the Senate.
Yeah.
There's this one episode that I fucking love. I can't fucking remember the name of the episode at the moment, but there's this moment where Ahsoka meets a guy called Lux Monteri. That's a
Uh huh.
separatist. That's a separatist political figure. Well, the son of a
Yeah.
separatist political figure. But he's also very aligned with the separatists. And they get to talk, not in a fight, and they get to explain to each other, and you realize the separatists weren't that wrong.
That's a lot. Like that's what's great about like shows like that is, and that's another thing like type of Clone Wars as well. I've heard the arguments like oh like, Clone Wars shouldn't be canon. It's a kids show. They did some really dark shit in Clone
Oh
Wars.
fuck yeah!
Like,
Come on.
holy fuck.
Clone Wars being a kids show, I was like, damn, this is not a kids show at one point or another. Like there are very brutal deaths, there are very brutal moments in the series.
Anakin War Crime Skywalker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the thing about that is they also say that about Rebels.
Yeah, that's true. Chopper.
Ch-
Chopper.
Chopper's a goddamn war criminal.
Chopper is the best. I
Oh
love
yeah,
Chopper.
absolutely. Chopper is just insane. And he's a complete and
Whoop,
utter
whoop,
war
whoop, whoop.
criminal. But yeah,
And nobody knows.
Star Wars has always been political, and people who say, "Oh, Star Wars shouldn't be political," they don't know shit.
I saw an interview. It was with a street artist,
Mhm.
and he was the dude that I can't like I think I don't remember which it, like what it was or what like movie it was or whatever.
Mhm.
But he was just like, yo, you need to put street art in Star Wars. They're like, well,
Oh
why?
yeah.
I'm like, political turmoil. Like, go to any like any country anymore, and you're gonna see graffiti. You're gonna see street art. That's just that is how it is. You don't see these. And he goes on to explain, he's like, that is one of my biggest like gripe is with modern like movies and stuff like that, or like futuristic movies, is it's these beautiful, pristine cities. I mean, he goes, yeah, you'll see that because people will clean everything, but you turn into an alleyway, there's gonna be street art all over the place.
Of course. Of course. Oh, fun diamond. Uh, yeah, of course. Like, come on. Like, street art is a lot, and you don't have to go far to see it. Like, I hate to get political into this, but I need to get political into this. You just had the No King's Day protests this
Yeah.
weekend. And holy shit, the amount of people there and the amount of graffiti that popped up all over the place protesting Mr. Orange Spice, Mr. Cheeto Man. Like, come on. Like, of course, graffiti is an act of rebellion. Graffiti is just like it's protesting in the very best sense of the word.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, and like, come on, like I found something very hilarious. I know you haven't watched the show, but and I urge you to watch it in Andor. Um, there is a moment in Andor where a senator for a specific um, planet is being arrested in the Senate,
Mm-hmm.
like in the lobby of the Senate. He's being arrested for asking questions about something that happens in the show. I was like, oh well, yeah, that's just fictionalized. Like they wouldn't fucking do that all the fucking time out there in the real world. Cue to last week, and there's a protest in California, the riots in California,
Yeah.
and there's a senator for California crashing into Christy Noem's press conference and going like, "Hey, I'm Senator this and that, and I want to ask some questions," and they proceed to get him the fuck out of the room in the same manner as that scene.
That's yeah. Like in film and television, and Justin just said in chat or the Twitch chat finally caught up. Sabine and Rebels graffitied all the time,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Thrawn actually called that out. Like in the scene where he like hair or in one of the scenes in Rebels, Thrawn was sitting there and he's explaining to one of his fucking underlings, one of the Imperial pricks. He's
Hmm.
just like, "Do you know what this is?" And he's gesturing towards like a chunk of wall that he had ripped out
Hmm.
and put in his office, and it was the work of Sabine. He's like, "This is the artwork of famous, like infamous rebel Sabine Wren."
Hmm.
And he explained like he went into the significance behind it, like this is the Lothal cat and da 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 da. And it was just that really like nice detail of a lot of the time as well. It's just like the art is tied to the individual, and sometimes it's very obvious.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's the beauty of it too. That I am of the mindset, and Dopa always gives me hell for this because she says I'm fucking in love with Thrawn. But
Yeah, you kind of are. I'm kidding.
I mean, in a sense, but I do believe that both in Legends and canon, Thrawn is one of the best written characters because of that, because he gets that part of the warfare. Like
Yes.
he back in Legends, not even Rebels right now. Like back in the Heir to the Empire novel and all the other the Thrawn trilogy from the old days. Like dude was one of the first lines of the book is Do you know about art? You know, this is art from this and that species and this and that planet, and this will tell us what we need to know about the battle that that's
Yeah,
that's coming ahead. I'm like, dude, like this guy is fucking brilliant because he studies that.
and yeah, kind of like going off what you said. There is not many characters that I'm aware of.
Mm,
Like folks in the comments, or I might actually see if I can put this on Spotify. Make this an actual. We should make this an actual series.
absolutely, I would love to.
um, hey Spotify, how's it going, buddy? No,
Let's research
so
how to
one
do
of the
that.
things, yeah, I will. Um, one of the things that I love, cause I actually my library, my bookstore downtown, they actually have. I saw some Thrawn books there.
Yeah,
Almost bought them. Probably should run down at some point buy some.
yeah.
uh, regardless, it's because from the reading and research that I've done for the characters for Blades of Elmi
Hmm.
and the other stuff I'd like to write, not many characters, if like what I've written or read, have that kind of mentality of, all right, we're going into a battle. We're not going to focus on the battle tactics. We're going to focus on the culture. Not many
Hmm.
people really, like, as far as I'm aware, focus on the culture side of things of, all right, let's get into the mindset of our enemy. But instead of, all right, how are they in traditional combat? What's their culture like?
Yeah.
And that will tell us more than just their fighting style. One of my favorite moments in the Ahsoka series.
Hmm.
Did you see that series?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, was when he was trying to do research on Ahsoka, and he's reading the thing, and he'll like the one of the very few times in Star Wars media where you see Thrawn actually like mildly shocked slash concerned. He's just
Hmm.
like, her master was General Anakin Skywalker.
Hmm.
It's like you can tell he's just like, ah,
Okay, yeah. Well,
all
that.
right, impulsive, reckless,
Yeah, but
just going off the checklist of, okay, this is not what I'm used to.
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing about it, like because there's even more context to that, but for that you need to actually read the novels. But in canon, Thrawn is one of the few people who knows
Who
who Darth
knows?
Vader is.
Yep,
Like he
I
actually
heard I said that.
knows.
Yeah,
He actually knows because he worked with Anakin. And the thing is, he didn't have to be told who Anakin was
he
or
fucking
who
figured
Vader
it out.
was. He figured it out because he had worked with Anakin at one point.
Yeah, yep, he did work with Anakin, and then he saw Vader using the same tactics. He's just like,
Hmm.
some something's fishy with this guy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much that
The
was the whole
chosen
thing.
one gets killed, and this motherfucker shows up.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Like that sounds suspicious.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound quite right.
Oh Christ. But that's the thing. So I'm not like no spoilers for what I have in mind. There is a specific
Mm.
character that minor spoilers for Blades of Omnia. She will show up,
Mhm.
but not the vision that I have for this character in the future is eventually like there's gonna be a very interesting I wouldn't say character arc, but a very interesting point way down the line in the future with this character.
Okay.
But I was trying to think like, all right, what is the best way to make this character give off the vibes that I want it to? And I want to do more research on because this character in particular is like I want this character to have I wanted to have the kind of same like cunning and all right, how can I get to my target
Mhm.
through through other means than just brute force, throw all the knives, daggers, just throw every piece of artillery at it.
Mm-hmm.
How can I get to my objective through other means?
Okay.
And it's like in the actual book itself, there will be a few bits and pieces of kind of mind games in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
but not really. Like, I don't want to spoil much,
Yeah, no, understandable.
but it so it in like with how I've kind of like starting to structure out like the magic system in my world. There's uh the there's like a magic hierarchy. So in
Mm-hmm.
other like novels and stuff like that, like if you have magical abilities, you're basically shunned from society and like you're like witch and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
In my setting, it's kind of the vice versa of like, so say you like you have your nobility.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's actually two stages of no. Well, there's three stages of nobility.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the folks that have like the super rare magical powers. Like there's one ability that is essentially like healing in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like the individual can like use their abilities and mend like mend bones, the skin, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the highest tier, like people that have like that level of magic, and I have it broke down into like a chart basically.
Mm-hmm.
So people that have that level of magic is like the highest, like supreme nobility in a sense.
Okay.
Then you've got like the second step down from them is all right. These folks have kind of more like general abilities, like that one can like not like extreme fire, but basically just like a little bit of like fire from their hands, like basically like minor fire magic. All right, they
Mm-hmm.
can like light a bonfire, or they're like working blacksmithing and stuff like that. If
Yeah.
for the normal people, or for like the average Joe,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but that's kind of like the second tier, and then like the regular humans, then people that don't possess magic, they're kind of like at the bottom level if we're talking about nobility. So you get your
Mm-hmm.
three tiers, and that kind of like works its way down the chain as well. Like your commoners in a sense, you've got the folks that are like the highly gifted magic, the kind of like mid level, and then not gifted at all.
Yeah.
And then in each of those kind of like magic tiers, there's different like abilities. In the
Okay.
highest tier, there is essentially like shadow magic, dark
Mm-hmm.
magic.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the only one that is in a sense it's almost kind of like necromancy, but not really. That's like the only one that is going to be shunned. That is, and I don't, not even shunned, that is getting imprisoned and kill on sight. Like that
Okay.
is basically everybody that possesses that magic.
Yeah, they're
The it's it's essentially like from a dark entity that corrupts them.
okay.
That's why it's really like get rid of them, because like there is a dark entity at play and we want to try and get rid of this dark entity, and people that have this connection to it are essentially like pawns in this dark entity's game.
Okay.
And uh that is kind of like, and this character that I want to kind of like that is going to be like the cunning kind of like playing in the like the shadows and like in the background
Mm-hmm.
is like has like this like dark power, just like
Gotcha.
shadow magic,
Yeah.
and that's kind of why I want it to be like cunning and not be like I'm going to just like it. I want it to be like, all right, how can I play mind games and stay in the shadows?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, how can I get my way but not make myself known?
Yeah.
Because I know if I make myself known, I have a lot more problems
Of
to
course.
deal with, and I won't be able to accomplish my goal.
Of course. That sounds interesting.
And that character is not actually going to be the main antagonist of Blades of Elmia.
Okay.
Yep. She is not even really going to be an antagonist
Mm.
yet. Spoilers. Basically, I have an idea that if I ever can adapt this into a TV show,
Mm-hmm.
she will play a much of more. She'll play a much bigger role in the show.
Okay.
But if the TV show doesn't happen, then I'll figure out a way to adapt it into other
Yeah,
mediums.
of course.
I was actually talking to someone about that, like, because I was just like, yeah, if I do this, I'd want to do it. They're like, oh, I mean, like, oh, well, writer directors are kind of a bad thing. It's like, no, I wouldn't direct it. No. I'd produce it because I already have a kind of like a Stan Lee-esque kind of thought in mind of this like omnipresent entity called the librarian.
Mm-hmm.
And incidentally, every library that like occasionally you open the door to a random library
Mm-hmm.
and similar to the TARDIS, the library looks quite bigger on the inside.
Okay.
And the librarian kind of looks the same every time you see him.
Hmm.
Anytime, and I'm going to fucking write this in any contract, anything,
Mm-hmm.
anytime that the librarian will be shown in any kind of media
That's gotta be you.
that I sign off of, it's going to be either my voice or it's going to be me. I
Uh,
am the librarian,
yeah.
and the librarian is going to be an omnipresent god, essentially.
That sounds fun.
So, characters like because that's what I kind of want to do is just like characters in the library. They're in this like special library. They're like,
Mm.
okay, they close the door, open it again, just a regular library.
Hmm.
Basically, it's like whenever something important needs to happen, and they end up in the library,
Yeah.
and let's just say someone needs to inform them of something, or sometimes it might even just be random chance where they open the door to the library and the librarian's there.
Yeah. Kind of reminded me of something.
Oh.
Uh, I mean, it's sort of a kind of similar concept in regards to the library thing. But there's this book I read, like I think a year back, called The Midnight Library.
Hmm.
I highly recommend it, by the way. But it's about this girl who is trying to unalive herself.
Mm.
And when she does, she's transported to this library where the caretaker of the library is actually like the old school librarian she had in primary school.
Okay.
And she keeps on showing up every time because she keeps on taking different books and there are alternatives to her actual life. Like
Ooh.
if she had stayed with somebody else or if she had done something
Yeah.
different. And that concept of the library that you just said, it kind of reminded me of the Midnight Library.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fascinating.
It's a good book. It's a good read. Uh I read it like
I
a
have to
year
check it out at some
ago.
point.
It's I do believe the author is Matt Haig or something like that.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's a good read.
Um, but kind of like going off of the librarian thing,
Hmm.
I was thinking about it as well. So you know how I want to do Project Noiris at some point, and how that's
Absolutely.
technically actually inside of the like Essentria universe.
Yeah.
Remember how I described like how like it's gonna be like a ship building, you get to build like different things and stuff like that. I low key want one of the things now to be like it's like a really expensive thing, but when you do it, you just build a fucking library attached to your ship,
That would be funny.
and like you open the door, and it's just me and a fucking It's just like we mocap it, and it's just like welcome to the library, just something like that, and then people, it's just like what the fuck is this bitch doing here? Wait, how are you here?
Yeah.
Because
That
in
would
the
be funny.
game, you're pretty much the only like human on the fucking ship, unless you are like you're doing co-op, then it's you
Yeah.
and your mates on the ship. But you're the only human on the ship.
Yeah.
So when you open the fucking door, and this is like old kind of like vintage, like classic style library, and there's a dude sitting there, just they'd be
Yeah.
like, "Who's this bitch? How'd you get here? What the fuck?"
Yeah. That would be funny.
Especially if it's the same thing where it's just like you close the door, you open it up again, and it's just like this like really like rudimentary like like modern esque ship library where
Yeah.
it's just like digital like books and shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Come back 5 minutes later, open the door again, and it's the classic like Doctor Who with the big on the inside.
Yeah.
It's just like, huh?
What the hell is going on here?
What the fuck?
Yeah, that would be
God.
really funny. That would be really fucking funny.
Fuck.
What up?
Trying to
You?
think, but yeah, it's like, with, but yeah, it's like let's just keep it on that.
Mhm.
Good. Kind of like going back to what we were talking about earlier, like having, like, being able to continue on like the continuity of certain things, like How to Train Your Dragon. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, and all right, so you do like your How to Train Your Dragon,
Mhm.
all right, but if you think about it though, is like how I said, like, all right, 100 years in the future, whatever. That's
Mhm.
kind of what I'm gonna do with this entry, because it's just like I've already been brainstorming as I've been like going back to writing.
Mhm.
All right, what is the futuristic version of this world going to look like?
Mhm.
And like what is the future plan in a sense? So like we'll have the kind of like low fantasy-esque like castle, like old towns, shit like that.
Mhm.
But then at the same time, I also want to have, all right, now we're in the sci-fi realm. Now we've got spaceships and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But things that, and this is going to be where it's going to be like, all right, trying to find the fine line of continuity
Yeah.
is shit that happens in the past, even if it's hundreds and hundreds of, even like thousands of years in the past compared to what's going to be set in the future.
Mhm.
I still want that to kind of have a minor effect,
Of
like
course.
stuff that gets referenced, and that's the biggest thing. Kind of like we were talking about earlier with continuity and stuff like that. Is when there's too many hands in the pot and you have too many creative directions.
Mhm.
It's it's easy to say, all right, we allow like creative freedom. You can do whatever you want. But at the same time, I also feel like if you have an already established IP,
Mhm.
it shouldn't be up to the director's discretion in the sense of, oh well, I didn't do any research on this IP. I was just hired to make this film. It, in my opinion, it should be the case of, all right, I guess I feel like people should, like, the directors should be more passionate about the projects that they shoot, and they're not just doing it for a paycheck. What are your feelings
That
on this?
yeah, that should be the that would be the ideal in every
Yeah.
world. But unfortunately, that's not what happens in
No,
every
not at
world.
all.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
that should be the way things happen.
because when I was on, I mean, I'm not going to say names or anything, but when I was on the movie set last fall,
Mhm.
the director was super, like, granted, pretty much everybody on set was super into that project. It wasn't like, yeah, people were there for the paycheck,
Yeah, of
like,
course, but
especially
they
like the
also
grips
loved
and
it.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of like the DP, the director, the producers, everyone was super into the project,
Mhm.
and it was great. It was wonderful because you're able to sit back and watch these people come together and create this small little thing.
Yeah.
And it's like I mean, granted, I didn't do jack shit. I drove a fucking Ford Transit van. I did sweet fuck all. But
But still, that also helps because here's the thing. I've worked on quite a few movie sets, and you know this. I
Yeah.
won't reveal which, but yeah. Uh,
Same.
I won't reveal which
Yeah.
ones.
Your projects are a bit bigger than mine, though. I will admit.
Some of them, some of them. But even then, like, even that, some of the projects I've worked with, especially some for the streaming networks and stuff, they're soulless as fuck.
I've heard that a lot.
Because
So
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish. Finish your thought.
No, because I was about to like kind of talk about a movie that I can talk about this because they fucking publicized the shit out of it.
Hmm.
I wasn't a part of it, but go ahead.
Oh well, yeah. I was in a more than a movie. I was in a TV set. For a TV series we did for one of the big streaming networks, and it had everything to be a fucking success. Whoops, I've messed that up. Sorry, I'm playing Minecraft as we talk.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like going through camera shit because I just got some of my gear back today, and he's just playing Minecraft.
Oh, absolutely. So, this one movie set I was in, I mean TV set, it had everything. I was just a post-production guy, so I wasn't even like involved in filming like a lot. And a lot of bad shit happened. Like there was hurricanes that destroyed part of the set. One of the actors was actually killed in an
I
accident,
did not know this.
in a very
Holy
freak
fuck!
accident. Yeah, in a very freak accident. There was a very freak accident while transporting the cast and crew to a second location, and this was due to budget
Ooh,
restraints. And so they didn't
what?
have they didn't have the budget to wait for a day for the crew to rest up.
Oh
Mind you,
no.
this was way before I came into the show.
Yeah.
So this was like a couple of years before I came in as a post production supervisor, and I had heard about this, and then I actually met everything. So the driver was tired. The driver was sleepy,
Yeah.
and he was driving three actors on his van, and the guy fell asleep at the wheel.
It, as someone who like, I've driven talent, like
Yeah,
that was my main job. That do you and here's the thing. Everybody kept telling me to take naps and shit like that, but
yeah,
it's just it's hard because you got I had the entire production telling me it's like, dude, fuck, like you're not doing anything for the next 3 hours. Take a nap. Like, nope. I want to be ready. I want to be like wired up, ready to go. But I always made sure that I had either caffeine or like I always made sure that I had some kind of stimulant to keep me awake. And
yeah. Hmm.
fuck's sake, we and like for me specifically because so for my set experience, I wasn't hired by production.
Yeah.
Production turned around to the transportation captain and said, hire, like, this is your budget, hire 3 dudes.
Hmm.
And he reached out to the place that I work at, say, hey, you guys always have good drivers. I need 3 drivers.
Hmm.
So they called up 2, just like our, some of the contacts. But when I got back, they said, hey, because I was doing a drive that day that he made the call.
Hmm.
I got back and they're like, hey, we talked about it. Like the management talked about it. We want you to, like, if you want to do this, we will let you. Like, we want you to do this if you want to do this type of thing. Like, we want you to see
Hmm.
actual production, actual set.
Yeah.
And because of this, because I wasn't hired directly by production, they did not know I was driving an hour from home to get to the hotel where everybody else is staying at
Yeah.
to grab the van to then go drive 30 minutes to crew parking.
Yeah.
So if call was at 6,
Mhm.
pre-call was at 5. We
Yeah.
had to be there to get the pre-call people at 5, which means I had to be at the hotel by 4:30 because it
Yeah.
was an hour drive. I was awake at 3 to
Uh,
3:30 to leave the house.
oh yeah. I remember
And
those
then
streams.
yep. And then we would be like it would be like a 15-hour day, like
Yeah.
15-hour day. So and that was like 15-hour day, like 13 of that was filming,
Yeah.
like an hour to get everyone back, 30 minutes to get. So I wouldn't be getting home until, so say call was at 6.
Mhm.
We'd wrap at like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And then I wouldn't be getting home till 10,
Yeah.
11 on a good night.
Yeah.
And then I mean, granted, call was delayed the next day because that's how call times typically work if you're
Yeah.
not in the industry. Um, but like when people found out that I drove an hour, dude, what the fuck? I was just like, am I? You know, we did an
Yeah.
overnight one night. Have
Mhm.
you done overnight, Skinaz?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did an overnight. Was the first and only night I have ever done a 5-hour energy.
Yeah.
This is the only time.
Yeah,
I
it
think it was like
happens.
3 a.m. I cracked it. I was with the other transpo. I was with the other passenger van driver. I was just like, bro, I can't anymore. I pulled out of my go bag. This is like, you hitting it? I was like, I'm hitting it. Crack it open. I down the whole thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm wired now. Holy fuck, I'm awake. Damn.
Yeah. It's hard.
Oh
Overnights
God.
are especially hard.
My God. I remember I got home. It was so surreal because I drove up there and I had my sunglasses on
Mhm.
and I drove home with my sunnies on. It was such a surreal experience because I'm going home
Yeah.
and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Like I remember distinctly because I had my phone on my phone. Like I had my phone in my car. I
Mhm.
remember distinctly. I hit record and it's just me going, the sun is over. I said, the sun is over there. And I just like pointed to my east.
Mhm.
When I came up here, the sun was to my west.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm tired. I want to go home.
Yeah, that's what happens. Well, yeah, that pretty much that what happened on that specific set, and that delayed everything.
Yeah.
And you could see that they were just trying to make the project because they had already spent a lot of money on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like circling back to this whole thing, because they had already spent a lot of money on the production side of things, and there was no passion there. And what ended up happening was it was a good story. It was outsourced because it was an adapted thing from a graphic novel that is actually
Oh,
pretty
that's even
good.
harder.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. It's not the most popular graphic novel ever. It's not even like a comic book, but the original guy was involved. The guy who penned the graphic novel. Have a good
Night,
night,
bro.
Justin. And yeah, at one point when I got on board the project, it really did seem like they were just doing it just not to waste the money.
I got you.
So yeah, and the passion was completely gone, and it showed, and the whole TV series flopped.
Yeah.
And it was rushed too, because the thing is, since people had no passion for it, the
Mm-hmm.
guys who were doing the visual effects were not
Just
responding to
didn't care.
us,
Yeah.
the supervisors. Like we were getting no answers from them, at any given point. So the whole thing suffered from it like a lot.
Was this when we were still doing LOC? Was this pre LOC or post LOC?
No, this is when LOC was already a thing.
Okay, because I distinctly remember talking to you one night and you going like, these fucking VFX people.
Yeah, those are the guys. Those are the guys.
Okay.
And the thing is if you watch the series and you pay really close attention to it, or even if you don't pay really close attention to it, you can see the terrible work the VFX people did.
Yeah.
Like I remember at one point, the original shot, this one shot, it needed uh, some whales to be in the shot, and they
Mhm.
were gonna CGI the whales on them.
Oh
When
boy.
they like that was all fine. I was like, yeah, we'll CGI, we'll CGI them. Like we can easily get there. We don't have to see a lot of detail. We just have to see them moving kind of in the distance in the water, so they're gonna be obscured. So that's fine. We'll get some pre-made assets to do this and save us all a lot of time of rigging and stuff. They ended up going, and this was after I left production to go work on something else. When I watched the series, they ended up going for still images of whales, and they
What the fuck?
kind of animated them,
Oh my god.
and you can tell.
Yeah.
You can
That's
tell it's horrible.
like something that I'm like afraid of if I ever if like anything that I write actually gets to that point of yeah, it can be like adapted to like the big screen is I like and I guess that's a good thing of like working coming from like being on set and stuff like that and knowing this kind of stuff is the amount of I'm going to make sure that crew is taken care of because at the end of the day if the crew isn't taken care of
Oh yeah.
the project's gonna it just won't look good.
Oh,
You can throw
absolutely.
all kinds of cameras all kinds on the gear but at the end of the day it's the people that make the project
And it's the
because
smallest
you
of
could
peoples too, eh? Like
yeah
we're when we're talking people, we're not talking oh the director or the actors. No, no, no. Even the truck driver needs to be taken care of. Because if the truck
yeah
driver is not taken care of, your shit is gonna be late to set. And if your shit is late to
exactly
set, it's costing you money. Like, come
yeah
on. Like,
because
even those guys are like, they're probably some of the most important people on set.
yeah, I was told like that's why I always like the production supervisor. If
Mm,
for some reason the production supervisor is listening to this, mate, you're amazing. Fucking love you, miss you. Call me. uh, but he said because first off, every single time I told anyone my age, they asked how old I was. It's like,
mm,
oh yeah, I'm 21 because I was 21 on this project. Their jaws dropped to the floor.
yeah.
So like, what the fuck? And because I always just like, I mean, one of my biggest flaws is I put myself down all the damn time,
Yeah.
and you yell at me all the fucking time when I do it. But because I was always just like on the thing, it's like, I mean, you guys the one making the movie. I drive the passenger van, and they're like, Chase, look, without you driving the van and getting us to where we are going, we wouldn't make the movie. We couldn't make
Hmm.
the movie, and that's what they were like. Every little bit counts. And that's the other thing as well. It's just because everyone was so nice on that production, I
Hmm.
was always like relatively quite optimistic about it, like
Hmm.
being there, and that kind of like constant optimism rubbed off because whenever we got in the vans, it was like, hey, how are things going?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, like, really good. It was that kind of like optimistic small talk.
Yeah,
They kind of just
absolutely.
like lighten the spirit a lot.
Yeah.
And if I guess if you were listening to this and you want to get into the film industry, honestly and truly, like I kind of skipped a few steps because
Yeah.
I didn't start as a production assistant, but honestly, start as a production assistant. And if you're not sure how to get that far,
Hmm.
believe it or not, look up your local like film equipment rental house,
Yep.
because a lot of the time people go to those guys asking for crew. At
Hmm.
least they do with where I work, because I work at an equipment rental house and we get recorded all the damn time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no,
So
it
you
works
just you
here.
never know.
Yeah, it works
Yeah.
down here as well. I am no longer right now, at the very least, in the film industry. I haven't been for a couple of years now. Uh, but yeah, that's how you get started. Like, if you start getting into contact with people who are in the industry, even as, like you say, as rentals, people who rent the equipment, that's gonna put your foot through the door, and that's how you start.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, getting started is what needs to happen at the very beginning. Like, you just need a kickstart. That's the reality of things.
Yeah. What I was told was just at the end of the day, what I was told was like from the guys that have been doing this for fucking longer than I've been alive. Not even kidding. That's another thing that made him feel super old. So I'd be like, I was born too. And they're just like, I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. Because I've been
Hmm.
driving them around. Um, they're like, just like be yourself. Just what did the production supervisor say? He said something along the lines of, he said, even if someone is treating you like an asshole,
Hmm.
treat them with the utmost kindness.
Oh yeah.
Because, especially in this industry, you never know who could be your boss on the next project.
Hmm.
Because you could be a PA on this one and you could be a producer on the next one. You
Hmm.
just never know in this industry.
Yep.
So always treat everyone with the utmost respect and kindness. And this is again coming from someone who's been doing this fucking for 20 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's really the biggest like takeaway is just look, if you guys want to get in the film industry, just honestly be kind and be yourself to a certain extent, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's honestly, that's one of the best pieces of advice that we can ever give somebody who's trying to get into this industry. Like, if you manage to get onto a set, doesn't matter who you're talking to, just be kind,
Hmm.
cause they can open the door for you tomorrow.
Exactly.
Who knows?
And even if they don't open the door for you, they still might give you a key to another door.
Exactly. This industry is all about context in the very end. So the more context you can get, the better.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, it, back in high school, I
Hmm.
never thought in a million years that 4 years after graduating, that I would have actually been on a professional film set.
Hmm.
Never in a million years that I think that that was actually going to happen. And a lot of it was luck, I will say, but it was just being kind. I mean, the job that I'm in now, they would have never been like, hey, we want to put you on this film set
Hmm.
if I wasn't kind. And they knew that what I was doing, I'd fit right in. So they're
Hmm.
like, yeah, go ahead. Which I have an idea, and I've pitched this idea to a few of the guys, and
Hmm.
absolutely love the idea. But I I want to see if we can take this one step further.
Okay.
because next time I pitch it out to him,
Mhm.
I'm gonna see if we want to reach out to a certain lighting brand. So it's a lighting company,
Mhm.
essentially,
Mhm.
and I want to reach out, see if they're interested to reach out to a certain very well-known lighting, because
Mhm.
they have a lot of lights across a wide variety of spectrums,
Mhm.
and who knows, maybe, just maybe, they might be like, yeah, we're down to like either sponsor this or maybe even send a representative out. It's
Mhm.
Aperture,
Oh, yeah.
because we do a lot of stuff with Aperture as it is, because I mean, we're a gear rental house. You
Yeah,
rent
of
out a lot of
course.
Aperture gears. Like,
And Aperture is kind of known for being cool with people
uh-huh.
and collabing a lot with people.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of Aperture, I'm gonna put a photo in the photos of
Okay.
the Cult of Frederico Discord.
Yeah.
Dude, we have so many fucking Aperture lights in our shop right now. It's
Yeah, I can imagine.
asinine.
I can imagine.
Okay. Look at look at the photo.
Ha,
That is,
that's a
we
lot of
have
things.
two two sets of Infinibars. We've
Nice.
got, are you familiar with the XT26
I do believe so, yeah.
currently? We've got like fucking we've got four of those
Oh, damn.
sitting in another, like in another room. We have two of the CS15s.
Hmm.
Dude, we've got so many Aperture lights in
That,
our shop right now.
yeah, that's pretty
Oh
cool.
my god, we have so many returns. Which actually, that, speaking of which, because they just wrapped. Speaking of like soulless movies, Hallmark.
Oh, boy.
Hallmark, and I genuinely want to know
Hmm.
how in the hell, like, let's put it this way. They just wrapped a movie
Hmm.
like last week or whatever.
Hmm.
They are expecting this movie to be fully released by holiday time this year.
Yeah.
That turnaround time, though, is
That's Hallmark for you.
is surprising,
That's Hallmark for
considering this
you.
is like the third Hallmark movie that they've shot in the past 4 months in this area.
Yeah, Hallmark has a tendency of making movies quick. That doesn't
Like,
mean, like, some of them are good, some of them are not good, but
they
that's the
threw,
price. Hmm.
like, with this one that they just wrapped,
Hmm.
like, they had a BTS crew
Okay.
with with a mini, Kanaz,
Oh God,
with an Alexa Mini, from behind the scenes camera.
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
The
they'll
the
probably do a good one this year.
documentary about the filming of this is going to be amazing,
Oh, absolutely.
because, fuck's sake, like, it, Christ alive, they put so much stuff on social media about this movie,
Hmm.
because they were, because this movie is it's a movie kind of like about the Buffalo Bills football team.
Okay.
Well, sort of, kinda.
Yeah.
And it's called Holiday Touchdown: A Bills Love Story. It's
Okay.
just fucking cheesy thing. Uh, and literally, like I said, don't worry, guys. I'm not like, literally all of this is public knowledge. Everything
Yeah.
is public knowledge, because a group called Casting Buffalo kept putting out so many casting calls for extras, and they kept putting out so many like photos of like the
Hmm.
locations, the sets, and everything that they did. And so it's just like, hey, don't worry, I ain't gonna get in trouble for talking about this. But yeah, it's just, I want to know how Hallmark is able to turn around movies that fast.
Eh, I'm
Like,
not sure how they do it, but to be fair, that is not their main business.
I know it's not, because that's why I'm not asking how in the hell do they have this much money to keep throwing at thousands of Christmas movies a year.
Yeah, no idea.
But
Honestly,
like,
no idea.
what kind of like editing sweatshops do they have?
Yeah, honest to God, like what the hell?
Because this is ridiculous. Like, because uh, the project that I was on, we filmed in like October of last year.
Hmm.
I haven't heard if that thing's even close to coming out yet.
Yeah.
I have no intentions of watching it because it's like a horror movie.
Oh, you should. We should.
Oh
We should do a watch party.
hell no,
Why not?
because it's a horror movie.
Yeah, but you worked on it. You shouldn't get spooked.
So,
You shouldn't get spooked.
oh trust me, some of the prosthetics were very unsettling.
Oh no, I get that. But you already saw them. You shouldn't be spooked.
Uh yeah, well, I mean, fair. Seeing how they did it versus here's the reason why I feel like I couldn't watch it is because I would be able to watch it and go like watch the scenes and go, oh yeah, that was the night that everything went wrong. That was the night that the fucking production team almost died.
I mean,
That like straight up though, a fucking like power line blew like 30 fucking yards from them.
damn.
It was a very, let's just put it this way. You know how on a set there's always that like that one day where it feels like everything just is not going right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that day.
Yeah, I figured as
Legitimately,
much.
everything that could go wrong went
Went
wrong.
Yeah, more
Shit with
well.
locations, shit with camera. One of my favorite quotes of all time
Hmm.
was from, I think it was the Ass Effects dude, the dude that was doing like the fake blood and shit.
Hmm.
I take him back to the to base camp,
Hmm.
and home dude goes in. Like, I walk in with him real quick just to like grab something that I had left there, my laptop,
Hmm.
because I was just doing some writing.
Hmm.
I walk in, and the production supervisor, who was alone at the time, like, how's it going? And the dude goes, I about picture wrapped myself several times throughout the night. For those of you that don't know what picture wrap means, picture wrap basically means done shooting, like done. You're like done.
Yep.
Like you can have like a wrap on the night, but picture wrap is like you're done.
Like it's
So
finished.
yeah,
You're no longer gonna shoot.
yeah. He was like, nah. Everything that went wrong. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
But that's on every set though. Like
Oh yeah.
we had it
If
easy.
it's not a real film set if something doesn't go wrong.
It doesn't happen. Yeah, you know what the fun part is as well
What?
is on like if we do that fucking watch party, I could be watching some of the scenes, and point at the laptop and go, "That's my laptop," because props lost the prop laptop,
Oh god.
and mine was the only one that was close enough in shape and size. So production was just like, "Hey, buddy, we need your laptop for the entire day," and I'm like, "Okay." I didn't get, because I forgot to bring a book because I was doing writing towards
Yeah.
the tail end of the production. It was the last day too, and they're like, "Hey, we need this," and I'm like, "Okay, here's my laptop."
Yeah, we need your help. Thanks, bud.
At the end of the day, like as they were getting close, I go up to the AD and I'm like, "Can I get my laptop back?" He's like, "That's yours." I was just like, he's like, "Yes, please, before we take the car back." He's like, "Thank you so much." It's like, "Yeah, no problem."
Yeah.
It's like, You didn't need it, right? I go, I just didn't do any of my writing. It's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, because I was just opening up the program and I got a text that was just like, hey, do you have your laptop? It's like, yeah, I always have my laptop. Can you can you bring it over to the picture car? I was just like, yeah. So I bring it over and they're the director. Like, here's my like I got my laptop. The director's looking at the DP's looking at it. They're looking at still like dailies from the day that they were shooting with this picture car that had the laptop inside of it.
Yeah.
They're like, close enough. Can we take it? I was just like, yeah, here you go.
Oh
So,
god. Yeah.
the thing, what I was worried about though was
Mhm.
the entire back, like the screen side of it, or like the top of it is
Mhm.
sticker bombed the fuck.
Yeah.
So I was worried that they would cover all of the stickers, but they only needed it for like the side profile. So I'm like, okay, good.
Oh god.
I was worried that they were gonna like cover the stickers or do something to it, but nope, they didn't do that. So I was like, okay,
You got lucky, man.
I did. It was only for side profile shots.
I remember this one time in a set that the prop car, the car they needed to use, was not available, and the only one that was
Ooh.
close to it was my old car. And I was like, okay, we can use it, no problem whatsoever. This was like not even a professional film set. Like this
Yeah.
was a student film that
Oh.
I was helping out on.
Yeah.
For some college people, and they ended up scratching my car.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
they scratched my door.
Oh
Like,
no.
damn, you guys.
Did they at least like compensate it a little bit or no?
Kinda. They gave me like
Oh,
$25.
oh well,
I mean, they didn't have much, man.
that's fair. I mean,
Well,
yeah, that is fair.
I mean, to be fair, one of the guys did spend a while trying to polish it out and stuff.
Okay. At least they tried. They weren't like, oh, here's some money. Sorry, bro.
No, they did. They did try to fix it. They couldn't, but they. I mean, they kind of helped buff it out a
Yeah.
little bit, but in the end, the paint was
So,
completely scratched off.
so speaking of paint and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you know how like picture cars, especially when it's a cop car look-alike,
Oh yeah.
how props are supposed to cover it when in transport.
Yeah.
They didn't do that for the picture cop car that we had on the last night.
Oh god damn it.
I had to transpo that fucking thing back into the city to park it.
No way. You get in trouble.
No, because it was 3 a.m. Nobody else was, no cops were out. At least not where we were going. So
Thankfully,
me and the other,
because that could have been wrong really
oh yeah.
bad.
Well, here's the other thing. It was like some fictional town name, and it was like a fucking 1998 Chevy Suburban or
Okay, yeah,
something.
that
Like,
that that helps, but still, you could have gotten into so
yeah,
much trouble.
but like it said police on the side of it. It had a light bar on the top of it. It looked like a cop car.
Yeah.
And we were taking it into this like the city to
Hmm.
park it, and the other pass van drivers behind me because
Hmm.
it was like we were the last few there. It was just transpo team left,
Yeah.
and crew parking and set was the same place basically.
Mm.
So we're taking it back, and he's from the city, so he's from the area. He's just like, all right, where's he? We're on the phone with each other. He's like, maps is taking you in like through a different part of the city. That there's a much easier route. There's gonna be cops. Follow me. So he gets in front of me. I'm following him.
Mm.
Mind you, again, this is 3 a.m. on the highway.
Yeah.
The amount of people that would like, I'd be watching headlights like coming up fast,
Yeah.
they get close enough to me to see police on the side of my vehicle, they would fucking slam on the brakes so hard. They would just like just so fast slow the fuck down. But mind you, this is 2024. This is like a city. And
Yeah.
here you've got this 1998 Chevy Suburban fucking cruiser.
Yeah.
And he's like it was slightly lifted too on these like bigger bulkier tires. Like the, these guys are slowly passing me going probably going, is this a fucking cop? Where the fuck is this town? It's not even a real town. What the fuck is going on? These poor bastards were probably like thinking that they were like drunk driving or something. Because I'm on the phone laughing goddamn ass off with my buddy who's in front of me.
Yeah.
Because he's seeing the same thing that I am. Seeing these coming up behind me fast. Because again, 3 a.m. Nobody's on the road right now.
Of course.
Seeing a cop car and just hitting the brakes like nope. And then they slowly come past me doing the speed limit. Like
yeah.
I could tell they're like that. What is that a cop? I don't know. Is it what? I don't know. Just the confusion on these guys.
Yeah.
I wish I was in their vehicle.
Yeah, they're just going like, "Oh, is that a cop? I don't want to find out."
Yeah, I don't want to find out. Yeah. Oh man, that was fucking great.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, some of the people like I got to talk to like the stunt driver. Oh, fuck, it was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to meet a lot of very interesting people on set.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that story about the police cruiser is insane.
I have a photo of that fucking thing. I'll post that in photo so you can see like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh yeah, yeah, you can kind of.
Yeah, no, it was
very
full on.
Very
police.
much like you should not have gotten pulled over. Like you should have gotten pulled over, sir. How did you
Yeah.
How did you make it out alive? I think I'm just gonna fucking find it now.
Yeah, look for it later.
No, I must find it now.
Right now we're doing a podcast, sir.
I am still talking on the podcast. You're playing Minecraft on the podcast. Go fuck yourself.
I'm mindlessly playing Minecraft, mind you.
This is true. I have your stream pulled open and I'm just watching you fucking place ice and place torches.
Hey, I made a huge crater and now I'm making it a lake.
I can see this.
Sue
That was
me.
that project.
Oh, you have a guy.
Yeah, I see him. I would like to point something out. I'm not modded in your chat. Why?
I don't know. You should be.
Yeah, you had one of those the other night, and I ban
Yeah.
his ass, and I'm like, I can't. What?
Yeah, that was weird because you should be. Last I checked, you were modded in my chat on Twitch.
Someone revoked my permissions.
But no, but that's weird. I need to
Yeah.
check that once I am able to log into my goddamn account.
Twitch. So, for the folks at home listening to this, Skadaz's been streaming on YouTube this entire time. Skadaz, why have you been streaming on YouTube?
Because I cannot log into my Twitch.
Kanaz, why can't you log into your Twitch?
So I have two-factor authentication, like everybody should, okay? So I have my 2FA on, and it's linked to my cell phone number. And for some reason, I got logged out of my Twitch today. Like, well, I'll just log back in. I go in, put my credentials, and as always, it tells me, oh, we're sending you a code to verify that it's actually you and not have any issues. So I go like, yeah, send me the code. And is this your phone number that ends in these two numbers? And I'm like, yeah, that coincides with what I do have in my phone number. Okay, we're sending you a text. The text hasn't arrived yet. That was at 10 in the morning.
Oh, I realized I was 10. I was that early in the morning.
Yeah, I was setting up some stuff because I've been trying some stuff out. Today I'm currently kind of jobless
What?
because,
Motherfucker.
well,
Wait.
what?
I son of a bitch. Why are we learning about this now?
Well, because here's the thing. You knew I was working a second job,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
a
I
temporary
knew you.
second job.
Yeah, I knew that you had left that place because like
Yeah.
the reason you were there, like the
Yeah.
person came back. What about the
Yes.
first one?
Okay, so while I was doing that, I could not do the carpentry job
Uh
because
huh.
I could not manage both things at the same time. So I was doing minor stuff on the carpentry job, like basically designing a couple of pieces of furniture that we want to be able to sell
Yeah.
independently of the rest of the business. So I was doing that, so that's fine. Problem became that in order for us to be actually able to produce that, we need to kind of have the budget to do that.
Oh
And
no.
for us to have the budget to do that, we kind of do need to have projects going on. And we haven't signed a single project in the last 3 months.
Oh no.
So right now, I came back to like I said, the carpentry thing is with my dad. So I
Yeah.
talked to him the day I left the other job. I talked to him like hey, like how's it going? Like how's this looking? Uh, like because we had prospects. I was like how's
Mhm.
it looking? Like are we gonna have projects soon? And he's like, well, this guy asked for a quote, and we went over, checked his apartment and everything, and we gave him the quote. I'm like, well, that's good. Well, yeah, but he did say that he was gonna go on his honeymoon right after we did that, and I was
Oh.
like, well, yeah, that's fine, no worries. We can start work once he's back because he said he liked what we showed him, and he was like very much on board with everything. So we're like, yeah, oh, yeah, that's fine. Let's do that. And we'll wait for him to come back, and we'll start seeing about his project. The guy already came back, and he hasn't talked to us since. He hasn't
Oh,
said
I
anything.
thought it's about to be like, knowing how most of your stories end,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been surprised to have been like, oh yeah, the guy died on his fucking honeymoon.
no. The guy came back, hasn't said a thing. Uh, we since we're checking out a couple other possible projects, but nothing has panned out. I've already ran out of saved money, so I cannot do shit at the
Jesus.
moment. Yeah, I cannot do shit at the moment. But that's fine. Today I was looking into other opportunities, other career opportunities. So I've been sending resumes all over the town, but I've also been testing tools to get like side hustles and stuff, and
Yeah.
to make some passive income because you always should have some passive income. And I
So
already have a little bit of passive income, but it's not enough.
yeah. So so me dropping fucking $80, me dropping that money last week kind of was nice for you. Good.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, it wasn't
Twitch
enough for
takes the
Twitch to
fucking cut.
pay
Yeah.
it. So
What?
it wasn't enough to get me over the threshold. I'm sitting at around 30 something bucks on Twitch.
Mother.
That's fine.
Fucking.
That's fine. But the problem is like right
How my
now,
YouTube membership bullshit? I'm kidding.
that is fine. So right now the problem I'm having is the fact that I don't have more money saved up,
Yeah.
and I have a little bit of credit card debt. But that's fine because I've been surviving off
Yeah.
of that. But the problem is right now I no longer have an income. This is the second week I don't have an income, and my passive income stuff is
It's a
not gonna generate
passive.
it's not gonna generate anything right now because I have Twitch, but Twitch only pays me like $50 every 4 months ish, which is kind of when the subscriptions actually reach the threshold. You probably kickstarted that by a couple months, which is nice. With the
Just
your
look, bro. Gotta
yeah
pay my employees, my unofficial employees.
yeah, pretty much. So that happened, and I have a couple of things that are generating me money for unused bandwidth on my
Okay.
computer, but those generated slow as shit. And the payout for
Oh
one of
yeah.
those, well, the payout for one of this is a minimum of $10, and that's gonna pay like in like 8 months or something like that.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's $10 every 10 months. It's not terrible. The other one supposedly is gonna pay me when I reach 5, so it's probably gonna be half the time. I have some T-shirts I sell online here and there,
Yeah.
very passively because I don't even market it, and stickers and shit on my Redbubble shop, and those are also giving me payouts like every 4 or 5 months because that one's a 20 to $25 threshold. So if I sell a T-shirt, that's good. But if I sell stickers, which is what I sell the most, that's where it starts getting trickier. Uh,
Link in the podcast description. I don't know how Spotify works.
Spotify, you cannot link that, but yeah, it's fine.
Go check
Uh,
out Kinez Gaming on YouTube or Twitch.
I'll put some links
Actually,
in
wait.
there.
That's,
Uh,
we'll figure it out.
the other thing I need to do is actually because the thing is the Redbubble thing is so passive because I don't like upload a lot of designs uh often. So
Yeah.
if I did more designs, I would probably get more stuff, and that's some of the stuff I've been checking out today. Uh, I came across a lot of like tools. Some of them are AI, some of them are not. Uh, but to
You
help
use
me.
AI art. Dopa's going to kill you.
Oh no, I'm not gonna use the AI art.
Okay.
What I
I would kill you.
no, what I can do, however, and I actually have been doing that today. I was using some AI art generator, but to make pixelated stuff, so that
Mm-hmm.
I can then modify that on my own or base use that as a base for something I want to do on my own.
Yeah.
It's more like to give me a head start of seeing an idea. For example, I did I asked this one AI pixel art generator to make me a picture of a street taco.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I have that, I know how it kind of looks, the kind of color scheme it's using and all. Now I can go ahead and do that on my own in the way I want to do it.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna add like a little pergola on top of it, so like it's actually on the street, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna use that as a little icon that you can have, like instead of a polo shirt that has a little horse, you can get the street taco shirt.
A.
So something like that.
Yeah.
So those kind of tools I've been using in order to just try to figure out some stuff.
Cause yeah, that's like that's it's stuff like that using AI as a tool versus using AI as like I'm going to do this
Yeah.
to like make my life easier and stuff like that. Like I so uh because so kind of like saying it briefly, I no longer play D&D. Like we've
Mm,
like the campaign that I was in, like we're done.
yeah.
Which Loki kind of mildly upset about it, mainly for the sheer fact of I actually like for the first time ever, I commissioned artwork for one of my characters because I couldn't find anything that I liked enough.
Mm,
So I commissioned artwork, and I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean,
yeah.
$200 for like an actually like a hand artwork,
That's pretty cool.
and I'll have to send it.
Yeah, dude.
Um, but like literally 2 weeks after I got it. We were like, okay, we're no longer doing this. Like,
Yeah.
like okay. Fuck you guys on that. It's fine. I mean, fucking life happens. And honestly,
Yeah.
like at the same time, like I'm a little disappointed to kind of stop doing it. But also at the same time, I was just like, that's fine. Fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, like I just don't have the time anymore.
Yeah.
I've been really delayed. Like there won't be a Terraria video for because I've been so behind in editing.
Mm.
I could have done editing tonight, but I also low-key kind of got a tiny bit burnt out on editing.
Yeah.
Um, because I was trying to push it so hard. But literally, I was just completely lost my train of thought. Oh,
With the.
this past
Mhm.
week, like, I mean, I worked 48 hours in a 40-hour week. Like, I went in and I did stuff on Sunday
Yeah.
as well. What the fuck is that?
With it.
Because well, you know how you have the Discord thing like rats next to your name now?
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing more and more in my fucking thing, and I'm jealous.
Honestly, like it took me by surprise because I got it out of nowhere.
it,
Like,
I,
uh,
I don't know. I don't
like
know like what the qualifications are.
I saw. No, the thing is, I went into the Ghost Discord earlier today, and they were like, "Oh, you can claim this," and I thought it was like a redemption for the server. I did not realize it was showing outside of the server.
No, yeah, it's everywhere. So I want to figure out how we can like I want to know what you can how we can do that for LOC Discord.
No
I
idea.
want that tag. That's just cool. Cause like, here's what I see like in my thing right now.
Hmm.
You have rats for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's something to do with Ghost.
Yeah, it's a song from
Um.
Ghost.
Ah. Someone's got jump, and jump is jump ship. Don't
Okay,
know. Sounds like some kind of game. Uh,
probably.
Augustus or Adminity. He's got Omen. He was the first one that I saw that had a tag. Omen.
Okay.
Um, Lilith's Killer Shack is what it's from. And
Mm.
here's because when I initially thought it was like, oh, it's only if you got like a shit ton of people. I mean, this one only has less than 10,000 members, so I don't know what the thing is.
No idea. And the thing is, I don't know what those things are called. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
they're flares. I don't know if they're something else, like badges or something. They're definitely
Mhm.
not roles, but I'm not
No, they're
sure.
not rolls. Yeah, it's like a stair or whatever. Because I know Nitro kind of rolled out a thing where you could like decorate your like little like if you look in our Discord right now, you see that I've got
Yeah,
my name is the little fancy like digital effect next to it now.
yeah.
That was something that it came out with Nitro, and they're like, "Hey, do you want this?" As yeah, sure, fuck it,
Hmm.
because you know I like looking fancy.
Yeah.
I'm not fancy. Sorry, community. I'm actually now like really curious about this change, because normally when Discord pushes out a new thing, they're kind of like, check out this new thing. They just never did that with
Yeah.
this tag thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Uh, League of Chaos server setting. Change server icon? No. What games does your server play? Minecraft. Sea of Thieves. Stardew Valley. Uh, oh. Well, those are some of the games that we play right now.
Trying to check
Members?
out
Nope.
congregation. Here it is.
Engagements. Boost perks? I wonder if it's like a boost perks thing.
Maybe, but the thing is, I haven't boosted the ghost thing.
Well, no, like if it has reached a certain level of boost, people like anyone gets it type of thing, you know?
Could be.
No. So level 2 is server banner background.
Mhm.
Um, level 3 is custom invite link. I low key want to get to that level at some point. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, like a level 3 is 14 boosts.
Damn.
So right now we're at level 2 boosts. Who's boosting? I think I'm boosting them.
Probably.
Because with Nitro, you get 2 by default.
Mhm.
Who's the server? Does it say who's boosting? Sure. Okay, yes, okay, yeah. All right, yeah. So it is me.
Mm.
See, I'm boosting the server.
Yeah.
I do want to, like, looking through it, we just have so many channels. I'm half tempted to
Yeah, we need
start
to kind of
cleaning
clear it.
house.
But this is a good moment to advertise the League of Chaos server.
Discord, yeah. LOC Entertainment's Discord. Oh, Christ.
I want to preface for anybody who might be listening this in the future. This podcast thingy has been all over the place because we came at this with no plan whatsoever. Like
Oh,
everything we do.
yes.
Like this was a spur of
Yes.
the moment thing because we didn't
I
know if my internet was gonna cut out because right
or
now.
his power, yeah.
Yeah, I could have lost power any moment. Thankfully, I haven't because there's a huge storm on top of me. Actually, I think it stopped raining a little bit ago. At least it stopped thundering, which is good.
Nice.
Uh,
I also just realized we never did we introduce ourselves?
I don't think we did.
I think we kind of like I kind of did in my intro. Just
like you
good
gave
evening,
an
bros.
intro for the thing, but that's it.
Okay. So I'll have to like take this part of the podcast and throw it towards the fucking beginning. Hi.
Probably.
This lovely voice that you hear right now, annoying here right. Hey, I am a New York resident, not New York City. I've never been there. Want to see it? Almost did get to see it the other week, but I was almost paid to be there. Do that bullshit. I am joined by my love Canaz Gaming.
Hello, this is me. I'm Kineas. I'm from Mexico City. Once a filmmaker, now and a musician, now a carpenter and a musician.
In this podcast, we discuss everything under the sun, including and not limited to how to make movies, how to not make movies, what movies should be made. I'm kidding.
How to make furniture. I'm
How to
sure.
make furniture
Yeah, I'm sure at one point in this live we're gonna discuss how to make furniture.
in this podcast. Yeah. Actually, speaking of, that's a nice segue to Canaz. That one apartment that you did where I had the absolutely horrible idea of the like the book lights or whatever, the reading lights. How did those turn out?
They turned out pretty good.
Yeah, did the client like them?
Oh, they love them.
Okay, good,
Like
good.
we had to make a few changes in the apartment in another one of the furniture pieces that we
Yeah.
made. So we went back and we coincided with the client because he normally is not there
Mhm.
when we're there, but we coincided with him and he was telling us that the, those book lights that you mentioned, those were for the
Yeah.
beds of his daughters.
Really?
And yeah, and the daughters love them. The daughters love them, and
Yes.
he loved them because we also put them in his bed as well.
Awesome.
And
I'm glad to
yeah,
hear that
he was
your
very glad.
idea went
Your
that
idea.
far.
Your idea.
Your idea.
Your idea. Okay, so guys, he's not giving himself any credit for this, but
Stop.
The thing about this is
Oh,
we did
ignore him.
yeah, we did a raised closet, an elevated closet on top of the beds, and it was giving a lot of shadow. And we also put like nightstands next to the beds. There's two beds and there's three nightstands, one to each side of the bed and one in the middle of in between both beds. And on the wall we put up a decoration, and it was Chase's idea that it was looking a little bit empty. And since the
And
other
that's his
thing
idea.
was since the other thing was casting a lot of shadow, we could put some book lights next to them, on the sides and in the middle, on top of, like, above the nightstands on the wall, so that they could put it and they could read directly, because the nightstands, on top of the nightstands and underneath the raised closets, there are LED lights, but they're providing light to the nightstands, not to the bed itself. So this other ones, they're movable, and you can pretty much put them in any way, shape, or form you want, in order to be able to read. And that was all Chase's idea, and he doesn't take any
Yeah,
credit
and
for
that's his
this.
idea.
God damn it.
That's his idea. Look, so a lot of that spawned off the fact of, eh, for me personally, uh, like when lighting thing,
Mhm.
I hate direct lighting. I mean,
Mhm.
you've seen some of the photos that I've taken. I'm much more of the ambient lighting,
Yeah.
like mixing and matching very like contrasting colors. Like again in that one photo that
Mhm.
with the in the clouds with like the red and the blue, that
Yeah.
like contrast. And when I saw that, it was the case of, all right, like there is some ambient lighting, but there could be more.
Mhm.
And I think this is also at the time where like, I was doing a lot of reading. And
Yeah.
that's kind of where I was just like, this might like work possibly.
Yeah. So then
And
I proposed that to my dad, who was the designer, and he was like, "You know what? That's an excellent idea."
see, Kanaza's idea. There we go. We get all circle back to Kanaza's idea.
Fuck off.
um,
So yeah, Chase got a thank you for his contribution.
yay. Uh, but yeah, it's just ambient lighting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck's sake. I turned an old C stand and oil lamp into just like this little random ass light post thing. I use that quite a bit, actually. The thing I posted on my story a few months ago,
Yeah, I remember.
I use that a lot. It's actually like decently bright.
Nice.
And it's like a because I wanted to keep like a warmer color temperature, so I found some like I think it's like not quite 2700 Kelvin.
Mhm. He's checking.
I I would say that's about 3600 Kelvin
Okay.
color wise. It's not like because I hate like really cool temperature and I hate really warm temperature. For me,
Mhm.
if I'm lighting a thing, 4600K.
Okay.
4600 is the perfect, is in my opinion the perfect
Yeah.
white light.
Okay.
Not too warm, not too cool.
Yeah.
I know everyone listening to this that doesn't understand lighting is gonna be like, "What the fuck you talking about? Why are you talking about Kelvin? That's temperature, measure of temperature, degree." No, lighting. 4600K lighting.
Yeah.
Just chef's kiss.
Yeah. 46K is pretty good, honestly. Okay.
What's yours?
I'm inclined to say something somewhere around the same. But
Yeah.
I'm actually a little bit more dynamic in that, because I don't always like that kind of lighting.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll do a little bit more warm tones or a little bit
Mhm.
cooler, and that
Yeah,
actually you
depends on
can
the
see.
scene.
Yeah, and you can actually see that a lot on my Instagram, but not in my recent stuff that I mean, I haven't uploaded a post on my own in a while,
Yeah.
but some of my older and more popular posts on Instagram, I have one that I did. I can't remember when it was, but it was a few years back. I was working for this production company where we were doing a lot of advertising for a TV company.
Hmm.
Instead of them doing their own advertising, they would outsource them to us. So so they could focus more on their programming instead.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of this one actress that we were shooting with. We're doing a promo because they were gonna start putting some horror movie, and there was a pretty cool set, and it was lit like mostly lit by candles.
Okay.
Like we did have a spotlight, we did have a little bit of ambient light, but there were a lot of candles that were
More like
providing like
natural light. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, a lot of more natural light. And mind you, we were doing this kind of inside a warehouse, so there was not a
Oh
lot of
Lord.
yeah, there was not a lot
Oh
of
Lord.
natural lighting. So these candles were actually providing some really nice lighting,
Hmm.
and we ended up shooting that. And I did shoot like a behind the scenes photo where it was just her
Yeah.
in the set, like getting ready, like we're testing out the lights. Took us a photo with my cell phone, and it did garner like 900 likes on Instagram out of nowhere.
Nice.
It was a
Yeah.
time where I was consistently getting like 700, 600 or something like that.
Yeah, for more than I was getting. Jesus.
Yeah. Like I cannot
Instagram is
get like
so hard
50
nowadays.
likes right now. But yeah, but
Oh,
back then
dude, I can't even get that. Yeah.
yeah, like it was one of my most impressive performing photos back then, and
Mhm.
honestly, one of my favorite photos I've ever shot.
Yeah. It's one of those things that like kind of like what you had told me a while ago is having that creative eye
Mhm.
and being like this frame, this is a good photo.
Yeah.
And even just like going out of your way to kind of move around and like better position yourself for that. If you were to take a look in the photos channel, which you'll see the oh, for fuck's sake, this is such a pain in the ass nowadays to do it this way. Come on, Discord. Yeah. Well, they've like mildly changed Discord in a sense.
Mhm.
So actually, I might be able to now that I've done that. Hold on. Half the time it's so hard to find shit.
This is gonna be so interesting for the
Oops.
people who are just listening to the podcast.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. You guys, screw you guys. No, I'm kidding. Love you. You're amazing. Where's favorites? Favorites. 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 Oh, nope, not that one. I just had it. Where'd it go?
I don't know.
There's ah. Da, 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 da. Uh, it was literally like, so it was one of the nights
Mhm.
I parked the van and they had like this super massive fog machine
Mhm.
and I just where I had parked the van, it was backlit as fuck.
Okay.
So I just posted the photo in our photo chat.
All right.
Let me know what you think.
Let me see. I'm
Yep.
opening it up. Oh yeah. Yeah, just the right angle, man.
Yep, just the right angle. Hey Ford, I'm kidding. But yeah, if you look up, you'll see the car that I took
Yeah, I see it.
into the. Wait, now do you see why I was a bit sketched
Oh
driving that
yeah, no,
fucking thing
absolutely.
through the city?
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Sis, sis, sis.
Also, I love how PB actually confirmed that I paid her for the build battle. I didn't think he'd do it, but he did. All
Oh
right,
my god.
quick break. I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick. Canaz, keep the podcast entertained.
Oh boy. Um. Hello, everybody. This is Kineas, and hope you're entertained. I hope you're actually liking like what we're doing here. It's kind of an experiment. As I mentioned, it came really impromptu. We didn't really plan for this, but like here we are. We're doing a podcast. I've done a couple of podcasts before. I actually was a guest in a podcast down here in Mexico a few weeks back. It was pretty fun. So kind of have a little bit of experience in doing this, but other than that, other than just talking my ass off, I don't really have any experience doing podcasts, and I don't think Chase does either. If he's listening to me, he's probably gonna like just yell at me. But yeah, um, let's see. What can I tell you guys? We were talking earlier about productions going wrong, and I have a story to tell regarding that. And I think this probably around the time we're gonna be ending up the podcast, so I'll finish up or not. We'll see what Chase says. But let's talk about this one production I had. It's a very tiny production. We're shooting this one film that you actually can watch on YouTube. It was kind of an experimental film. We're dealing with swords. We're dealing with only two actors, and we're shooting it out of state. Well, kind of out of state, right in the border of the state. And we had like a tiny, tiny budget. Like this was a passion project just for the other director and me. We were co-directing. We had a couple of friends helping out, and suddenly, like we had like I want to say like $300 to shoot this with. And we borrowed a microphone because this was for a competition, so we needed to use a specific microphone, so we borrowed it. Um, and we were shooting. We were about to shoot. There were the two actors. There was the co-director and me. We were doing all the lighting. We're doing that all that stuff. All the producing as well. We had one producer with us, who was also helping out. We had uh, one guy doing the sound, and that was the whole crew. So what up?
That's a tight. So I had my headphones,
Oh, good.
so I was listening to you.
Okay, so you've heard this story before though, but I'm telling it to the audience. uh, so yeah,
Have I?
yeah, you definitely have. Actually, I think I was updating you as it was happening. This was a few years back. Okay, so we had like $300 to our name to
Oh
do to do
yeah.
this. Okay, and we were doing this. We had a couple extras, which were one of the co-director's parents. So because we're shooting at their place, so they agreed to be extras and just be in a scene. And we realized because this was the first scene we were gonna shoot at this location. This was day one of filming out of 2 days. Uh, and we realized we were missing a couple of things to dress the scene. So I went over to my buddy. We're gonna call him Joe. I went to Joe and I was like, "Hey, dude, we're missing like some cookies and stuff like that, some crackers, just to fill out the scene. So because this is a diner scene, well, not a diner scene. This is a dinner scene. Like they're having dinner, so the plates shouldn't be empty. There should be at the very least some crackers or cookies or something, so that it's like, oh, they're having dessert while they're
Mhm.
talking. So he goes like, "Oh, I know exactly where to go to get some of them. There's like a store like 5 minutes away, like a 5 minute drive away. I'ma go there and get them." So he took the producers David and Joe go in the car. Okay. So meanwhile, we're sitting there and we're figuring out like, oh well, the lights are already done, the shots are already lined up. So I start running a couple of practices of the whole dialogue because this was all shot in one shot. Well, most of the film was done in one shot. Uh, there were there was three scenes that we needed to do on day two. There was the one shot that was like a couple arguing, and there was the dinner scene, and basically that was it. Okay, so we had started to rehearse everything, and I was like, I'm not sure. So while you're out, let me rehearse this with the actors again. So we run it a couple of times. It starts getting a tiny bit like these guys have been gone for like 20 minutes. I'm like, he said it was 5 minutes away, and grabbing some cookies must have taken them like more minutes. Why aren't they back? And the phone rings. Oh, we've been in an accident. What do you mean we've been in
Yep.
an
I
accident?
remember this now.
What do you mean we've been in an accident? Well, yeah, we were turning around um, to get into this one street because we realized that this was at the height of the pandemic too. Uh,
Yeah,
we
I remember you
realized,
called me.
yeah, we realized that the other store is right in the middle of where the vaccination effort is happening. So it's gonna be hell to get there. So I remembered about this other store the other way around. So I pulled into a driveway in order to make a U-turn. This, mind you, this is a two-way street. And as I'm
Yeah.
pulling back out, a motorcycle hit the car. And and
Oh,
on the motorcycle on this bike there were two people, and one of them went flying and landed and is not moving. Like, oh shit, what what do you need us to do? Stay there. We're handling it. The girl is being treated. It was a girl who flew off. The girl is being treated. Paramedics are here. The police are here. I'll keep you posted. We were like, oh shit, oh man, this is gonna give us a little bit of delay, but it was not their fault. The guys in the motorbike are at fault, and they were not wearing helmets. And like, god damn it, like eh, they were. We were not that worried, other than we're gonna like be delayed like a couple hours. So we're waiting. We're running the scene again. We're like starting to. We decided to start making all the foley. Like we improvised a booth, and we started recording all the sounds of the swords. Uh, and suddenly we get another call, and guys, this time it was David calling. Guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but they're taking Joe in because, and we're like, what? But why? He's not at fault. Well, the problem is, the police said that since it's a motorbike versus a car, he kind of is at fault, even though the other guys were drunk and were having a lot of issues and they were not wearing a helmet. So they're taking Joe in. They're detaining him. They're arresting him. And we're like, holy shit! What do we do now? The actress that was working with us was Joe's fiance. So
oh no.
she starts freaking out. So now I'm here on set talking to Joe's parents, talking to Joe's fiance, and trying to keep them from panicking while the other actor is helping me and the sound guy is helping me as well. But now we have three people freaking out, three people trying to calm everything down. The producer's trying to figure out what to do over there. Joe is in handcuffs in the back of the police
Oh
car.
my
They
god.
they take him out, and we don't know what the hell. David goes right behind them. Uh, like he rushes to the house, grabs his car, and goes right behind them. Orders us to stay there and just wait for updates. And meanwhile, like I managed to calm down the situation, and we managed to call a couple of friends who are lawyers and ask for their advice. They're like, "Oh, you do this, like don't tell Joe not to say anything, and stuff
Yeah,
like that."
typical like lawyer thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and keep me updated. And if we need to go, we'll go because they all are friends of Joe as well. And they were like, "If you need us to go, we'll go." Like,
Meanwhile, I can't remember like when like the time is, but he
yeah,
calls me too. He
yeah,
calls me because he like, if I recall correctly, you just needed someone outside of the situation to talk to, just to be like, I just I need someone. Like this is before you met
yeah.
Dopa too, right?
No, I was already dating
Ah,
Dopa, but well, not dating Dopa. I had already met her,
yeah,
but
but it
we
wasn't. Yeah,
hadn't, yeah, we hadn't really
started.
started
Yeah,
because this was also right before Christmas, I believe. Wait, no,
yeah,
hang on, no, never mind.
and,
I think it was November. Then I hadn't met Dopa just yet.
yeah,
No,
because
I no, I
he's like,
hadn't. I hadn't met Dopa, but because when I met Dopa, I showed her the film.
oh,
It was like a
okay, yeah,
month before I met Dopa.
because he called me because he just needed someone to be like, I just need someone to like, dude, everything is fucked. I need someone to talk to. So he calls me and I'm just like, yo, what's up? He's just like, bro,
Bro, this is going on. So
this is some bullshit.
yeah, exactly. So then Joe gets taken in. He gets into a county jail. Uh, and we are all like, God damn it, what do we do? We're talking to the police. His dad goes over there. Uh, his fiance's dad goes over there too. And they're freaking out. They're talking to the police like he shouldn't be arrested and all. We end up having to post bail for him. So
Yes, they are
suddenly,
to post bail.
so all suddenly the fucking short film that was budgeted for $300 went over budget by like 1,000%. We ended up paying around like a
The
thousand
fucking
bucks for
post
everything.
bail for the prick.
For everything.
The
So
buddy.
yeah, it was funny. But yeah, that
Didn't
was, and he got absolved of it too.
did he?
Yeah,
Y'all should have got your money back.
after like a couple of months of fighting it, and all the other guys were found liable, and they were supposed to pay, and I don't know if they ever paid.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Fucking. Didn't I do something on that project? If I recall, I did VFX on that shot. There was a thing
no,
in that. Didn't I do VFX? Or was that a different project that I did
that
VFX
was
for
a
you
that
guys?
was that was a project a couple or like I think 3 months before that. There was a music video, and you helped me out with
Yeah.
with a shot, with
Yeah, I
some
did
VFX
VFX
for
for
a
that.
shot. Yeah, you did VFX for that one shoot. Because and you helped me out because I was running out of time.
You were, yeah. You,
I,
cause if I remember right, you're like, you hit me up. You're like, I can't pay you, but could you please do this? I was
yeah, can
like,
you
okay, yeah,
please
if I can.
help me with this shot because I'm having issues with it, and I cannot finish it in time. And I'm editing these other 10 VFX shots
Yeah.
that are tiny minuscule details that I need to finish, and I need this major effect done, which
Yep.
wasn't that major honestly, but yeah,
It took me a bit to like once I figured it out, I was
yeah,
just like, oh yes, boom, boom, boom. I think what was hard for me initially was of like trying to understand the context of the scene, considering it was all in Spanish, and I'm sitting there just like, what the fuck
yeah,
is happening?
yeah, I remember that. But yeah, once you got the hang of it, it came out really quick.
I think I did that when I was at school.
Yeah, I think you were. Yeah, I think you were still
'Cause
at school.
no, like in like
Oh, you
I
did the
d-
effect
like
in school.
in a fucking class because my independent like I took so many independent studies that was learning film.
Yeah.
So I remember I was just like, yeah, my buddy down in Mexico that I met, he needed help on a VFX thing. So I just did it there
Yeah.
because I could like let at the time I didn't think I had a very powerful team.
Mhm.
So I just let it render when I went to my next class. Why
Amazing.
use my processing power
Fair.
tools?
Yeah, fair, fair. All right. I think that's a good and long enough podcast.
Fucking 2.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we
This
went over.
podcast is off the fucking. First off, we need to find time to do this again because this was enjoyable.
Oh, this was
I
really
do
fun.
hope this. I do hope this takes off. It probably won't, but who knows?
We do need
Um,
to make this happen a little bit more. We can probably find a way to do it.
what days are you available, Mom?
I don't
Other than
know.
Mondays?
We'll talk about it later off the air.
Off the air, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
In the next one, we can talk about how we met. Hey,
Oh boy, yeah.
that's
Yeah,
a story in and of itself.
yeah, we need to structure it a little bit more, and we need to come up with a name because
Why?
right now we don't have a name.
We don't have a name, but why structure? See, here's the thing:
No, because it's too
What?
long.
2.5 hours.
Like we can sit down and make two of those in like two podcasts in one go.
Nah. First episode will be a long one.
Yeah,
Next
we'll figure it
episode,
out.
well, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah,
Um,
knowing us, we won't.
eh, well, it'd be aight. It's calculated. But on that, folks, I do hope you enjoyed this first episode of a podcast presented by the League of Chaos Entertainment. I know. I've been your host. It's Chase.
It's Knass.
And we'll see you on the next one. Remember, sorry, we'll hear you in the next one.
Exactly.
Hey, good luck, have fun, and take care. With that, signing off. Tara.
Bye bye.
We did it!